Would you live on a planet with all women?
Yes, immediately, right now.
Would you live on a planet with all women?
Yes.
Would you live on a planet with all women?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yes. Of course. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah? 110%. I am gay.
We don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
So yes.
Yes, I love women. Are they selling tickets?
I hate men.
Would you live on a planet with all men?
Hell no.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Definitely wouldn't.
No.
No.
No. Fuck no, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hell fucking no.
I mean, it'd be cool.
Gay!
Well, maybe 1 hour and I'd regret my decision. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it.
Okay, so y'all just saw that clip for yourself. When presented with the option of living on a planet with all women, each and every woman agreed that yes, they would do it. While the men immediately rejected the idea, aside for that last guy who, I don't know, I think he was a little... how you doing? He was a little how you doing or like sugar in his tank. But even with him, he admitted it will only be tolerable to live on a planet with all men for a couple of hours, right? Meanwhile, the women were ready to book the flight for that spaceship the same night and just skirt off to planet her, right? Now, I was not surprised by those reactions because I distinctly recall a publication doing a poll not too long ago amongst men and women where they posed the exact same question. And again, the men overwhelmingly responded by saying they would not want to live on a planet with all men, while majority of the women stated that they would like to exist on a woman-only planet, like they could see that working for themselves. And to me, it's just more proof of women being the ultimate source, right? Women being the prize. If it were not true, then males would be able to exist without us. They would be able to function in an entirely male populated planet without us, but they cannot. And deep down, they know that. They know that they need us. We do not need them. But this is the trick that gets played on us within this matrix, right? Within the realm that we exist in, within the patriarchal society which we exist in, which makes us believe that men are the pinnacle and men are above us, when it's us that even created them. Males came from us. They came from women. Without us, there is no them. A planet made up of only males would ultimately lead to chaos, destruction, and death. It would be a death planet, okay? It would be a barren existence from which no life is generated. There would be no life generated on their planet. Whereas a woman-only planet would equal peace, community. It would bring forth life. When the matriarchy reigned at one point in time, we generated life without male involvement. I spoke about this in my God is a Woman video, right? The Bible even showed us that parthenogenesis is possible, right? Where a woman, Mary, birthed the chosen one, God's only son, right? Without any involvement from a male, right? She was able to generate a child without having any interference from a man, right? A human male, right? If we did that once, right? If we once had a matriarchal society in which women were bringing forth children without any male involvement sexually, then that means that we have the capacity to do it again if the conditions would require it, like in the instance of total male extinction, right? We would naturally adapt to allow for parthenogenesis to occur once again. And in that kind of setup where it's a woman-only planet, women would also enjoy more camaraderie amongst one another without any men around to cause any division, creating any unnecessary competition. Women would not have as much pressure to fit certain standards or pick themselves apart in order to appeal to the male gaze, to the same extent that they do within co-ed societies where men are constantly pitting women against one another, triangulating us against one another, directly and indirectly. So there would be significantly higher rates of harmony on planet Her, okay? There'd be more productivity, there'd be more health and naturally occurring wealth, right? Abundance. But planet man would be full of drama and discord and disease. Actually, it'd be full of disease. Okay. But I found it fascinating also that, you know, even a gay men would not want to live on a planet with only men. They would not be able to tolerate it. And, you know, the thought did occur to me when I watched that clip. I was like, I'm sure there's some male identified pick-me women that were probably in the comments of that video talking about how they wouldn't want to be, I wouldn't want to be on a planet with all men. You know what? My recommendation would be like, if this were ever to be a scenario that would occur in the future, for the women that don't want to go and be on a planet with all women, my recommendation would be to ship those select male-identified, male-centered women, ship them off to the planet where it's all men and just see how they like it. Maybe they will be happy being the only women available on a planet full of billions of men. You know, they will finally get picked for once. You know, we will just see how they like it. See if they make it back safely, right? You could even make it like a trial run. Like, oh, you guys can be out there for like a month and see how you like it. And then see if they even survive that month, right? Being the only women on a planet with billions of men, right? But we'll just see how they like it.